Hello, and welcome to New Beginnings Start Today, the podcast for people who want to grow deeper in their faith in the Lord. I'm your host, Dr. Douglas Keffer, a minister, clinical pastoral counselor here in Roanoke, Virginia, and I have a passion to help people live their faith. Today, we will talk about handling life struggles victoriously and how you can face today's challenges and feel the Lord's help for whatever you need and whatever you face. Let's begin. I've had the privilege to talk with many people who have come to me for advice or for God's counsel on what they should do with the struggle they were facing at that moment. These struggles can come in so many different and with so many different faces. But make no mistake, they can stop one in your tracks and can seem impossible to know what to do about it. I have seen struggles that people have been dealing with, from health issues to financial situations that seem to demand bankruptcy, to unfaithfulness in their marriages, to conflict in their workplace that has them turned sideways, just to name a few. I want us to look at several life struggles that are very real and how God can help you with them in a very practical way. First of all, let's look at the struggle of your future that seems to be hopeless. There are so many things in life that are thrown at us that can become so overwhelming that the resolve to make things better can seem hopeless. Listen to the writer of Lamentations. When Jeremiah wrote, I remember my affliction and my wandering, the bitterness and the gall. I well remember them, and my soul is downcast within me. Yet this I call to mind, and therefore have hope. Because of the Lord's great love, we are not consumed, for his compassion never fail. They they are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. I say to myself, the Lord is my portion, therefore I will wait for him. Lamentations 3:19 through 24. Jeremiah, the weeping prophet, knew what he and God's people were facing because of what all they were dealing with was very overwhelming. Listen to his state of mind. I remember my affliction and my wandering, the bitterness and the gall. The future for this man seemed very bleak, and one hears his sense of hopelessness. But then, even though his soul was downcast within him, he saw hope when he looked at God's promises to him and for the people he was prophesying to. They were not consumed because his compassion is what never fails. I want you to believe this truth as you face those struggles about your future that seems hopeless. God knows your needs, and he will supply what is necessary for you to look at your future with great optimism. God's compassion is new every morning, and we too must acclaim, great is your faithfulness, and learn how to wait on his interactions with us to provide all that is necessary for us to look at our future with great hope. Secondly, let's deal with the struggle of others who have sinned against us. This is a huge struggle that many do not know how to deal with. When I saw and when I was in the pulpit, I would tell people, if I took to heart all the nasty things I know people have said about me, I would never walk to that pulpit again. People can be cruel with what it is they say and what it is they do. I'm thinking of a young lady that I counseled with self esteem issues. She fell in love with a young man, but she did not want to go to his home and socialize with his family because of his father. She would tell me about the comments that he would make about her appearance, and they just crushed her. The father then attacked her domestic skills, especially about her cooking and housekeeping. I wanted her boyfriend to take up, quote unquote, for her, but he was afraid of his dad and would not say anything. They asked me to talk to the young man's father and mother, and that counseling session was very difficult because this man never saw anything he did as being wrong. He was shocked at what I counseled him to do. And I saw a change in this man over a period of time, and issues were resolved. This young lady married her boyfriend, but she had to get past the effects of what her now father in law had done to her. James, the brother of Jesus, addresses how to handle this kind of struggle when he wrote, "Speak and act as though who are going to be judged by the law gives freedom, because judgment without mercy will be shown to anyone who has not been merciful. Mercy triumphs over judgment." James 2, verses 12 and 13. I cannot tell you the times that I have had to use James' admonition with my clients who had been sinned against. Understanding the principle of mercy triumphs over judgment takes time and effort. There are times that we just have to let the wrongs that have happened to us go and let the Lord handle the justice that is needed. Thirdly, you have to deal with the struggles of wanting to be bitter about the wrongs you have to deal with from how people have treated you. This is huge because of the lack of Christian morals with so many people. This is even true of so many people who profess to be Christians. I'm thinking about a wife whose husband could not get over the trauma of his daughters rejecting him, and my client because they did not think he should have married her. They wanted their dad to remarry their mother and make things right for them. This husband's mother made it very clear that there was not going to be any acceptance of her son's wife because she thought he should have never divorced his first wife in the first place. This husband's family attended church every Sunday and believed it was okay for them to treat my client this way. This client lived with this degree of rejection for years, and she had to learn to deal with the disassociation that went on between her and her husband and the outright rejection of her by his family. The Apostle Paul gave us the right way to handle these kinds of situations that could easily cause bitterness in our lives when he wrote, "Make every effort to live in peace with everyone and to be holy. Without holiness, no one will see the Lord." See to it that no one falls short of the grace of God, and that no bitter root grows up to cause trouble and defile many. Hebrews 12, verses 14 and 15. Many of you seeing this know exactly what I'm talking about because of how you've been mistreated unfairly and with seemingly no resolve to the way those people want to hurt you. Their selfishness is so blatant to you, but they will not see how their behavior is so wrong. Allowing God grace to comfort you that 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 there be no bitterness and no bitter root that grows up to cause trouble and defile many is what you have to allow to give you peace in your heart and mind. I know how difficult it can be to try to live at peace with these kinds of people because they just keep hammering on you. Trust God to give you on the positive, to keep you on the positive side of your thinking that allows your behavior to show grace and mercy, because mercy does triumph over judgment. Lastly, life struggles demands that we work to allow our faith to be strengthened. What we face in this life are things that cause us to question if there's going to be a time when we will see things change for the better. Are marriages really going to last a lifetime? The answer to these questions and a million more are only going to be answered by us Christians who live with our faith and will live in our faith. The more we work at growing our faith in God's plan for our lives, the more we are going to see the changes that will honor God and give Him praise for His care for us. Listen to the Apostle Paul, who and how he and tells us how strengthening our faith when he wrote, not only so, but we also glory in our sufferings because we know that suffering produces perseverance. Perseverance, character, and character, hope. And hope does not put us to shame because God's love has been poured out into our hearts through the Holy Spirit who has been given to us. Wow. Romans 5, verses 3 through 5. It is so difficult to produce perseverance, and Paul tells us that what builds that character, and that character is what gives us hope. None of us want to pray to God today to bring on the suffering so we can be stronger. That is not what Paul is talking about. What he is talking and saying is that if we live life today, we are going to be faced with struggles. And if we face those struggles and our faith that God will get us through them, we will be stronger each and every day. I encourage each of you to stop and think about the issues you are struggling with right now. Take 5 minutes and write down a list of things that you have been praying to God to help you with. Now I want you to sit and muse about the things that you have seen God at work in your life, and you know that He has answered your prayer about that situation or those things that have you overwhelmed about. Learning how to sit and quiet yourself and allowing the Holy Spirit to talk to you can give you reassurance that things can be and are going to be better in your life. Believing that you can handle the struggles you face by allowing God to give you victory. That can give you freedom from the effects of struggling with issues that cause you to live in fear and doubt. Thank you for listening to this episode, and I want to invite you to contact me and share how you are handling those struggles you are facing and how you are allowing God to help you. Answer this question in your life. What is the biggest struggle you are dealing with right now that you need help with? How are you handling it? If you're seeing this on YouTube, please click on the subscribe button and the like button, and also click on the share button and share it with all your friends. That would be so helpful to me. Tell me about other issues you would like me to address by leaving your comments, and you can email me at drdouglaskeffer@gmail.com. Until next time, God bless each of you.